Hello everybody, I'm trying to get my light to work. For some reason it's not working. For some reason. Maybe the light bulb went out. I think it did. Okay, well, don't know why it's not working. Maybe I'll just plug it in. A different one. I'll just plug it in a different one. Now is it working? Oh, there we go. My plug-in wasn't in all the way. Oh, there we go. Okay. It is really, really hot here in Iowa. Like, really hot. It's really hot. I actually been home all day because I was just trying to get stuff done on my computer, and I was actually writing a lot of poetry stuff, and I'm just really excited that I got some of that done. And when I was like working on some of my books, I kind of realized that one book doesn't have very many poems, and then another one, I have another poetry book called A Brand New Woman, and it has a lot of poems in it. It's almost like 100 pages, and I was like, holy moly. So I was doing that all morning, and yesterday was farmer's market, and I really did do a good job at farmer's market. I think I sold like one, which is better than nothing. I've had days where like last year, I had days where I didn't sell anything. And then, so yesterday it wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't really that hot, which was great. And then, so it was kind of hard, like in the beginning of the farmer's market, because people were like parked in the areas where we needed to set up. So when people were coming out of the cart house, we asked them nicely, these parking spots are reserved for farmer's market. And I'm actually in charge of putting the cones out on Tuesdays at, I think, from 1:30 to 2, because we have to have those spaces for people to set up. And I'll be doing that every Tuesday, so I think I'll be okay as long as people aren't mean to me, because I'm very sensitive and they're just gonna have to listen to me. So in today's live reading, I'm going to be reading from The Wish, chapter 9, and there's like 35 chapters in here all together. So, and before I start reading, and Batman is wanting my attention, like always. When I was in my bedroom all morning and all afternoon, he was actually laying beside me, and it was just nice to just lay there with him. So anyways, I forgot to mention this last time I read, or no, I forgot to mention this, my coffee live chat yesterday morning. This book is the first edition of The Wish, and the story is still the same, it's just the cover is different. And this is free, anybody can have it. You just gotta like let me know and I'll send it to you for free. So, Batman. Seriously, we've been cuddling and snuggling all morning and he still wants some loving. You're gonna have to lay your loving butt down. So anyways, this book is available, so if you know anybody that loves paranormal stories, this is the first edition. Just let them know and I will get it sent to you. Okay, so hopefully you won't knock anything over, Batman. Oh. Okay, I had to get some water before I started reading. So, I'm trying to think. Okay, so in the last chapter was chapter 8. Oh my lord, Batman. So in chapter 8, Olivia wants to spend the day with Grandpa Quinn. And she has to get her math done and stuff. So now we're moving on to chapter 9. And this is not the scary chapter, I don't think. But anyways. I just hope Batman doesn't knock my tripod off, I hope. So there's 8 pages here, so I don't know how long this will take. But anyways, yeah. Okay, so this is chapter 9. And my light keeps flickering, and that's going to bother me because it's right beside my camera. I don't know why it's here. I'll just turn it down. Maybe that'll help. Turn down. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so chapter 9. Without Batman distracting me. He don't even care. Okay. During the next hour, Grandpa caught a few small ones as well. Olivia took a few pictures and let them fall out onto her lap. She fanned them in the breeze. She held them up and said, "Good picture, Grandpa." He turned around and smiled. Olivia took another picture. After they were done fishing, they loaded up everything. Then Grandpa took her into town to get ice cream. They pulled up in front of a building that had wood siding and a big white sign on the top that said Traverse City, homemade ice cream. In front of the building, to the left were 5 picnic tables, and to the right were 3 big seating areas with a wooden roof above the tables. Batman. Olivia and Grandpa got out and walked over as traffic continued going by. They stood in line and waited their turn. Olivia ordered a hot fudge sundae with whipped cream. Grandpa got a banana split with whipped cream as well. "So, your mother tells me you haven't packed yet." "She doesn't want me to, Grandpa. We haven't even done the paperwork yet." Grandpa stared at her, looking confused. "What paperwork?" "You know what I'm talking about. The college papers." "I thought they hadn't come yet." Olivia nodded. They did. Once they were done at the ice cream store, they headed back to Olivia's house. Olivia grabbed a bucket of fish and took them in the house. "Mom, we're back." Her mom came from downstairs and kissed Olivia on the head. "We caught 3 small fish, 1 for you, 1 for me, and 1 for Grandpa." "Good, I'm hungry." "I want to grill Doreen," Grandpa said as he closed the door behind him. He took his shoes off and set them on the wooden shoe rack. "I see the shoe rack is still holding together." He tapped his knuckles on the wood 2 times. Olivia turned around. "For good luck," he kissed her on the head and walked into the kitchen. "Olivia, go get ready for supper." "Okay." When she got to the 3rd step, she stopped. Whoops, my pages are falling out here. Okay. When she got to the 3rd step, she stopped and pulled the pictures out of her pocket. She smiled and went into the kitchen. "Oh, Mom, we took pictures." Olivia opened the Ziploc bag and gave them to her. "I'll look at them later." "Just look at them now," she urged her again. Grandpa held the fish under the running water. "Olivia Bell, listen to your mother." "Okay, fine." Olivia hurried upstairs to her room and changed into different clothes and headed back downstairs. She was so excited about the pictures that she already had tons of ideas. She could put them in a scrapbook or frame them. She didn't know what to do. Maybe advice from her mom might help. Olivia's mom grumbled. "Mom, we are going to grill the fish or cook it in the oven." Her mom grabbed the towel and turned around as she dried her hands, then leaned against the sink. "What sounds better to you?" "I like it either way." "Are you going to jump down?" Grandpa looked at Olivia and mouthed the word grill. Olivia smiled and straightened her posture. How about grilled? Her mom tapped Grandpa on the shoulder and shook her head. Dad, I asked Olivia what she wanted. We both like the same thing. Mom, we all like grilled fish. Grandpa laid the fish on the clean white towel and dried his hands. I'll start the grill, he said, then left the kitchen. Olivia looked at the 2 pictures Grandpa had taken. Mom, come here. Please just look at these pictures. Olivia Bell, I told you I would after dinner. But look, she held one up and smiled. Her mom turned around and smiled back. Yes, it's beautiful. You know they all are. She laid it back down on the table next to the other one. I thought about framing them. What do you think, Mom? Her mom dug around in the fridge, moving things to the side, then pulled a tray of fresh cut vegetables, out and set it on the countertop. When did you get that, Mom? When you and Grandpa went fishing? Oh, she grabbed a Ziploc bag and slid the pictures back in it, then got up from the table. She put the bag in the drawer of the desk by the staircase, where her mom did the billing. They're in here, Mom, she pointed out. Remember, please. Okay, honey. Her mom looked over her shoulder. Go check on your grandpa. Olivia made sure the photos were on top of the white papers so her mom would see them, closed the drawer, and then turned around. The door to the back deck opened. Grill is lit, Grandpa said. He kissed Olivia on the head and entered the kitchen. Is the fish ready yet, Rain? Olivia's mom's nickname was Rain, short for Doreen. All her friends had called her that in high school. Her other nicknames were Rain Rain or Dor, though she didn't usually get called Dor. Just a few times in middle school. Her mom laughed and shook her head. No, I still have to feel it. I haven't been called Rain in so long. Well, it caught your attention, didn't it? He grabbed a sharp knife out of the drawer and stopped by the counter. I can do it. You sure? Yes. Or yeah, go relax. Olivia watched her grandpa clean the fish as he chatted with her, then he seasoned the fillets, took them outside, and placed them on the grill. Once the fish were finally cooked and ready, Olivia, her mom, and Grandpa sat around the table and ate. A perfect family dinner. Olivia looked forward to another in the near future. Olivia grabbed her glass and held it up in front of her over the tray of vegetables that sat in the middle of the table. Cheers! Olivia's mom and Grandpa smiled at each other, picked their glasses up, and clinked them against hers. Cheers, the 3 of them said at once. So then now I have like a ... but actually it's this right here, just a little pentagram. So now it's a different scene. I could have did chapter, but most of these chapters are like really long, so I guess it's common for long chapters. Okay, I guess I better take another drink. My mouth gets dry. Later into the night, a light awakened Olivia from a deep sleep. Too tired to look, she pulled the covers up more and turned her head away from it. A few seconds passed by. She lifted her head from the pillow and saw crystal orbs appear out of nowhere. Before she did anything, a suffocating blanket of darkness swirled around her like a tornado. Her body lifted up from the bed as the sheet slipped off her body and landed below her. Oh God, what's going on? Everything around her grew darker and heavier. Her vision blurred as she gasped for air, until finally her eyelids closed shut. Sometime later, Olivia woke up in a dark room and noticed the curtains were shut. Wait a minute. I know I left them open last night. That's weird. She paused. Maybe Mom came upstairs and shut them. But why? That doesn't happen very often. She yawned as she stretched her arms and legs out, then tiredly laid there. Staying in bed under the warm covers and sleeping all day wasn't a bad thought. But then she'd feel lazy. All teenagers did it. That's what they were supposed to do, right? But Grandpa always says to work hard every day and make the most of it. Do I really have to get up? She inhaled and swung her legs over the edge of the bed, but then something felt odd. The other side of the bed, there was a pressure where somebody was laying. I think I hear the birds outside. How could there be somebody in bed when nobody had been there last night? I certainly don't remember anyone in bed with me. Then she realized something. Could it be the woman from the clearing whom she had seen in the woods? Or was it the demonic presence from the woods? Could something be under the sheets waiting for her? Waiting to attack? To hurt her? She swallowed hard, then turned halfway. There were 2 body-shaped bumps under the blankets. It just keeps getting better and better. They really are under there. She swallowed hard again, then reached over with a shaky hand and gripped the sheets. She braced herself for whatever lurked beneath, and then yanked the covers back. She gasped and snapped a hand over her mouth. Loretta and Skeeter laid side by side, fast asleep. How had they gotten here? They couldn't have come in the middle of the night. They never did anything like that before, so why would they? Olivia lurched backwards out of the bed. The purple polka dot sheets that hung over the edge of the mattress in her way. She tripped over them and fell to the floor. She bumped her elbow on the hard wooden floor. She hissed back in pain and held pressure where it hurt. Ouch, dang it. Loretta woke up and gasped. Oh my God, you scared me. She rubbed her tired eyes. Shouldn't this be the part where Loretta would be freaking out right now? Why are you on the floor? She asked, her eyes still partly closed. What did you do, Cuzzy? Fall and hit your elbow again? Olivia got up as Loretta gazed over at the window, then back at Olivia. I closed the curtains in the middle of the night because you forgot to. I told you last night before you went to bed to close them. Get back to bed. It's too dang early to get up. She turned on her other side and gave Skeeter a small push. Move over, Skeeter. He sighed. I can't move over any further, Loretta. I'll fall off the bed. You're hogging all the blankets, Skeet. No, I'm not. I barely have any. She yanked on the blankets. Give me some, Skeet. I can't give you any more. Suddenly, Olivia had just remembered that Grandpa made plans to come over. She looked over at the nightstand, reaching over to grab the cup of coffee, but it wasn't there. Why hadn't Grandpa left coffee by my nightstand, like he always did? Maybe he wasn't here yet. No. That didn't make sense. He was never late. Stop whining. Oh, just as Olivia walked to the door, Skeeter fell to the floor. Loretta! Stop whining. Olivia went downstairs to see if Grandpa had come by yet, but the TV wasn't on. That's weird. It had been on yesterday morning, so why wouldn't it be on right now? Olivia tiptoed down the staircase, then jumped from the last step and landed on her feet in the kitchen and yelled, Ha! It startled her mom, and she almost slipped on the rug in front of the sink. Olivia, today is not the day for that. Olivia frowned and was taken back by her mom's response. Dang, what's her problem? Did she wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Her mom stood by the sink, tears sliding down her sink. Her mom stood by the sink, tears sliding down her cheeks. Why was Mom crying? She was in a good mood yesterday. Olivia looked over at the little island. Grandpa's keys and coat weren't anywhere to be found. That was strange. Could he really be running late? Mom, what's wrong? Olivia leaned to the edge of the island. Where's Grandpa? Is he coming over today? Because I have a whole day planned. Well, I guess I can do my schoolwork first. What? Olivia realized her mom was puzzled hearing her talk like that and shook her head. Grandpa's not here, Olivia. Well, I wish he would hurry up and get here, Olivia thought. Olivia thought he must have had to make some runs into town, and then he'd be back, just like he did all the time. Is he coming to get me after he finished his runs? Because if he is, I need to... Olivia, her mom interrupted. What? Oh, and by the way, how did Loretta and Skeeter get here without waking me up? Did they come over in the middle of the night? Grandpa passed away. Olivia stared at her mom blankly. What are you talking about, Mom? He didn't die. He was just here yesterday. Her mom's eyes filled with tears as she covered her mouth with a hand. Mom, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's going on? Olivia, Grandpa isn't here. He's gone, she explained. He passed away. You know that. Olivia paused and then shook her head in denial. How could Grandpa be gone? It didn't make any sense. It can't be true, Mom. He was here yesterday. We went fishing. You grilled the fish. I'll show you. Olivia didn't believe he was gone, not for a second. She ran over to the fridge and opened the door. The leftover grilled fish was gone. She searched on every shelf and in every drawer, including in the freezer. It wasn't there either. Mom, what did you do with the leftover grilled fish? She looked back at her mom. Where is it? Did you throw it away? Olivia, please don't do this. Grandpa wasn't here yesterday. I swear it, Mom. Yesterday was Monday. He was here. Okay, I need some water. Olivia, her mom placed both hands on her cheeks. Yesterday was Friday. You must have dreamt it. We all miss him. Olivia clenched her fist as her mom tried to hug her. Then Olivia remembered something. She looked over at the drawer where she had placed the photos yesterday. No, Mom, I can prove it to you. We took pictures yesterday at the lake. I put them in here. She yanked the drawer out and pushed her hand past the loose papers. Where were they? I know they are here. They got to be. She screamed and threw the drawer across the floor. Her mom gasped and took a step back. Olivia, what are you doing? Olivia pulled the middle drawer out, flipped it over, and shook it. She dropped the drawer to the side, knelt down, and pushed the single papers out of the way. Her own tears soaked the pages. Where is the Ziploc bag? Where is it? It has to be here. I know it. She screamed again and slammed her hand down on her thigh. She pushed more papers out of the way. Olivia, you are scaring me, her mom sobbed, clenching a Kleenex. They are here, Mom. I know they are. Just give me a minute. She got up, pulled the last drawer out, and tipped it over. Files and envelopes fell to the floor into a heaping pile. Olivia, her mom tried to take the drawer. Let go of the drawer. They're not here, she turned to her mom. What did you do with them? What? Where are the pictures? Tears welled up in her eyes. Her heart rate sped up. What pictures? I don't know what you're talking about. Olivia clenched her fist and puffed her chest out. The pictures, she screamed. What pictures? I don't know what pictures you're talking about. Her mom stepped closer and placed both hands on her shoulders. Olivia, I'm sorry, but Grandpa is gone. No, she screamed, pushing her mom. He was here, Mother. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. Believe whatever the hell you want. Don't speak to me like that again, Olivia Bell McGalla. I won't tolerate it. Olivia heard Loretta and Skeeter come down the stairs. How in the hell did they get here, Mother? Man, Olivia is mad. Watch your mouth, Olivia, her mom yelled. Don't you dare use that kind of language in my house. I did not raise you like that. Loretta and Skeeter stepped into the kitchen, catching Olivia's attention. Where are the pictures? What? Her eyes looked half open. The pictures. I don't know what you're talking about, and don't yell at me. I'm still half asleep because you didn't close the curtains last night. I had to get up and do it. And then you woke me up too early with your weirdness. Olivia took a step closer. Where are they? Her mom turned her around. Stop it right now, little girl. I want the pictures, Mom. Just give them to me, and I'll prove that Grandpa was here yesterday. Loretta and Skeeter looked at each other confused. Olivia, we all miss him. You were dreaming it. Olivia clenched her fists tighter. Stop saying that. I want the pictures. I don't know what you're talking about for the last time. Olivia pulled her hands out of her tight grip, and her hand flew up and across her mom's cheek. Her hand stung and tingled. Her mom's head snapped sideways as she caught her balance. Olivia gasped and covered her mouth with both hands. Oh God, I just smacked my mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Olivia took a step back, then ran to the door, yanked it open, stumbled out, and slammed it shut behind her. She ran to the end of the door of the driveway and down the road. She didn't look back. Whew, holy hell, that's a intense chapter ending. Wow. Holy moly. I've gotten in fights with my mom before, and I never smacked her before. I don't think any kid would smack their parents unless they have trouble problems. But that is the end of chapter 9. That was actually a good chapter. So that chapter, I have no clue where that inspiration came from. So first, her mom smacks Olivia, and then Olivia smacks her mom back. And some of the words in here were the wrong phrases or something, or misspelled, because I published this back in 2017. But I did like the beginning of the chapter where Olivia, got to spend the day with Grandpa again, have ice cream with him and stuff like that. And then she goes home, they cook the fish, and then the next morning, she wakes up in the middle of the night. So basically what really happened was the day before she made a wish that Inga gave her the wishing stone, and made a wish, not really believing it, saying, I wish my grandpa was alive. Well, then the next morning she wakes up and he's alive. Well, she goes to bed that night, and then in this chapter, the next morning, she wakes up and he's gone. So the wish basically only lasted for one day, and now the scary things are gonna start happening, which I really, really, really enjoyed. So the first part of the book, I really wanted to show how close Olivia was with her grandpa and how much she cared about him and stuff like that. And then he passes away and she was devastated. And then she stays home, doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, she can't. And then she wanders out into the woods, and that's when she meets Inga. And Inga, her name is Inga Black, and she was a witch from 1692, the Salem witch trials. I'm sure we've all heard of that, and I've always been interested in the Salem witch trials. I watched movies on it, I read books about it, and I thought about that, and I was like, well, what if one of those witches wanted all the kids' souls to keep her strong so she could never die? And she has to give a wishing stone, to a kid for them to make a wish. And so the idea just kept building and building and building. And I just fell in love with the idea, and I just wrote the book. And it took me 9 years to write this book. And then Awakened Evil, I think that took me about 3 years maybe. I'm not really sure, maybe a year. And then Wicked Curse took me about 9 months, almost a year. And then Mystical took me about 4 months, I think. So Mystical, I just got a notification from Amazon that they're going to be sending the copies really soon. And I guess the shipping right now is just ridiculous. So this chapter was really interesting to write because I never wrote a character that would slap their mom or the mom would slap her. So there was just a lot of attention because, of course, her mom doesn't believe her because, her dad had died and she misses him just as much as Olivia misses him. And she wakes up the next morning, and of course her mom's telling her that grandpa's dead, and Olivia's like, no, he's not. We spent the whole day together yesterday. You're wrong. And then she wants to prove to her mom that he was alive yesterday by the photographs that she took. Well, they don't exist. That day that she spent with grandpa never really existed, only in her mind. And her mom doesn't remember it. Nobody remembers it. I think I would be a little freaked out if I woke up today and found my dad alive. If I woke up in the trailer out in the country, or maybe a house down, and he was alive, and then the next morning I wake up and he's dead again, I'm pretty sure anybody would be freaked out. I know I would. So the chapter was tense to write, obviously, because her mom doesn't believe her, and Olivia's trying to prove to her that grandpa was alive. So I think the next chapter could be the one. This is a shorter chapter. Oh, this next one I don't think is the scary one. Yeah, I don't think it is. The next chapter is kind of sad in a way. I hate to say that, but we're gonna be going back into Inga's point of view soon. Not this next chapter, but I think chapter 9. Okay, I think chapter 11 or 12 is when we'll read from Inga's point of view. And her point of view is very interesting. So, but anyways, don't forget, this book is still available. It's the first edition. So, if you want it, just comment your name down below, and I will get it sent to you. I'll just need you to, in a private message, your name and address and zip code, and then I can get it sent to you. Don't want to forget that. Okay, so I'm having a lot of fun with these readings, and I hope you guys are too. Okay, let's see. 18. Today is... Okay, hold on. Is today the 8th? No, I think I'm in May still, right? Yeah. Okay, so today... Isn't today the 12th? Oh my lord. Okay. No, May 26th. Okay. These are all done, so these can go off. May 26th. Okay. So the next live reading that I will be doing is May 28th, and that's on a Friday, and that would be 6:45. And then, I don't know why, so this Saturday, I guess I'm doing another live reading. chapter 11 at 3 o'clock. I don't know why I'm doing it on that. I don't know. But I'm doing farmer's market from 8 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. So that will be on May 29th on Saturday. And then the next coffee chat will be June 1st from 7:45 to, who knows, 9 o'clock, I guess. And then on that same day, I'm doing farmer's market from 3:30 to 3 o'clock to 5:30. And I have to set like the cones out, so I just hope and pray that there's no cars there. But I think when I go down there, if I see people pulling in, I'm gonna have to be nice about it and be like, hey, this parking spot is reserved. It's for farmer's market. Can you please pull on the other side of the square? I just hope no one's mean to me. So anyways, so that is for next week's schedule. And I am really, really glad that you guys joined me. And I will see you guys at the next live reading, which is Saturday, May 28th. Yeah, May 28th. 6:45, chapter 10. So, I hope you guys have a good day and a good Thursday, and I'll see you this Friday. So, bye.